my name is Angie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm a mom to 4. I love to homeschool and I love to read good books. And so today I wanted to walk you through my process of preparing for the homeschool week. So I typically do that on Sundays. It takes a couple hours and I usually do that during the kids' quiet time. First, I'm going to show you what I pull out because this is new this year and it's a little bit more organized than in previous years. Here are the things I grab every Sunday as I'm about to sit down and start planning. And so I have my planner, which I'll talk more about. And then I have 3 different baskets, which this is what I decided to do this year because it helps me stay organized and keeps all my resources in one place. So for instance, this basket is my morning time basket, so it has all the different resources. So I will be looking through that to plan out my week. And so this basket has all of the different worksheets or workbooks that I use. A lot of this stuff I will be ripping out and putting in my kindergartner or first graders folders, which is what this is. And so I have a to-do folder, and this is where I pull out all the stuff that's upcoming for this week, and then I have a finished folder, which is where we put all of the different things, if it's copywork or finished worksheets for math or phonics, kind of go in there. So those are hand in hand. I usually store these actually in here. And then this last basket is more my stuff. All my teacher's manuals, so you have biology, you have phonics, art, all the different math, teacher's guides back there. And it's really helpful to keep it all organized in these 3 baskets when it comes to sitting down on Sunday to do some planning. So let me get more into that next. Okay, now that you've seen what I pull out, I'm going to show you how I use it to get myself organized for the upcoming week. The first thing I do is I kind of deal with last week. In a future video, coming soon hopefully, I'm going to talk more about how I record keep, what I write down, what I keep, things like that. I typically do that on Fridays. So after I finish up a week, I take notes for myself and I will explain all of that later. But when it comes to Sunday, the first thing I do is I deal with papers from the previous weeks. And so like I showed, I have these folders for each kid, and come Sunday, this finished folder is full. It's full of stuff. So what I do is I go through it, I decide if I need to keep anything, and I put it in a folder for kind of a yearly portfolio sort of idea. So that's what I put in here. Everything else I throw away. Last year I didn't, and I ended up with a big sack full of stuff I just had to throw away at the end of the year. So this year I'm just gonna throw away as I go, keep as I go, and be a little bit more organized. So I deal with that first. Then I set up the skills section. And the skills section is the simplest. It goes all in these folders. It's basically we're ripping out the worksheets that are coming up in the next lessons. So for the skills subjects, I tend to do next lessons. So they're really easy to prep on Sundays. I just usually get it out of the way. I look at my calendar and make sure we're doing 4 days a week of the skills stuff, which is pretty typical. Sometimes it'll end up being 3 days a week, but I pull out enough for that, get it all prepped, get it all cut out, because some things in, say, like the foundations program, I need to cut ahead of time. So I'll just cut those out, put them in a Ziploc, and put that with his stuff, as well as I pull out different flashcards or things that are new for the week. So I kind of have to have a little prep there, as well as the math. I look through the 3 to 4 lessons we're gonna do, and I see if we need any special manipulatives, things printed off, things like that. So I just kind of scan the lessons. Doesn't take me very long. But I've found that that really helps me. I've used to going kind of blind, and then I have to scramble to print, scramble to grab things, and I don't like doing that. I like to have a little bit of forethought. So that's what I do first for both kids is I take care of their math, phonics, handwriting, put it all in their folder, and put it in the basket. So that part is easy, and that part doesn't even require my planner. I don't even write that in my planner. We just kind of go to the next lesson. So the next thing I do does require a planner. And so I've done different planners over the past, but what I have found that works and helps me the best is a small planner. So I picked up this year the Plum paper planner. It's the A5 daily planner. And so this one runs from July to December, and then I'll get another 6-month one. And then it just has daily spreads set up. I like the Plum paper planner because you could customize it. I'm sorry about the glare. I always get such a bad glare. You can customize the different sections. And I know you can't see this very well, and I apologize for that, but it's not as important for this video. But what I did is I set it up for kind of a priorities list, a to-do list, homeschool list, and stuff like meal planning and events. So I use this planner for everything. I'm a one planner kind of person. I don't like lots of different planners, and I found that homeschooling planners were just too much because I do a lot of my record keeping digitally. That's where I started using OneNote, which I will explain again in the next video how I do that. I use this also for home management, meals, chores, events, all of that stuff is in here, and it's really handy for me because it's just one page and I can easily flip to it. And so how I use this for homeschooling is, like I said, there's one big section here that I use for homeschooling. What I do with it is I do a little bit of forward planning of my non-skill subjects. It's more like, what Bible story are we reading? What art project are we doing? What science are we doing? Are we doing a demonstration? Things like that I need to have written down, and then I needed to have the resources there too. So it gave me a chance to think about this stuff. So what I do on Sundays is I think about that. So I take this and I write morning time. I put science or unit study. Right now it's science, but it could be history. And then I put afternoon time. And then I go through my resources. So I pull out my morning time basket, like I just said, and I will make notes. I tend to like to just plan week by week because it's not a big deal when you get a little bit behind, like say for instance today. We weren't able to do morning time, but we got our skills subjects done. And so I'm just gonna push that whole chunk of morning time to the next day. And then when I look next Sunday, I'm gonna look through and be like, oh, we didn't finish all those days of morning time, so I'm gonna move that chunk from Friday to Monday. So that's why this doesn't stress me out, is because it's dealing with subjects that can easily be moved, subjects that I loop and things like that. So it's like I have different character resources, and so I want to be able to write down what I'm planning for those, but more importantly, I need time to look through things. Like for instance, we've been using this, which I've been loving. I should do a separate review. There's some things in here where it's like, it has you download some things and then put it all together. It's very easy, but it's an impactful little project for the kids. And so I need to think about that ahead of time. And I also need to pre-read some of this stuff so that I know how I'm going to explain it, and maybe even how I'm going to come up with examples from our life to make it more tangible for the kids. So I just have to look through things. I have to make sure I've seen it, and I can pull different things out. Like we've picked up more stories, like Heroes from the Environment is what my son really loves. And so it's like, we'll pick one, but I want to kind of pre-skim it just to make sure I know what the content is so we can make it more applicable. And I really like that. And then also for my unit studies, this is really good because then I can pull in my resources. I won't forget resources if I have a moment to think about it and I'm not like scrambling at 11 a.m. We're at unit study time and it's time to get everything out, and I'm like, I forgot we had the human body puzzle or whatever it was. But when I have just moments to make notes to myself to be like, okay, this week we're studying the skeletal system, so I'm going to make sure to pull out that puzzle and things like that. So I make notes, and even if I don't get to it that day, it's in my notes and it's kind of more fresh and I don't forget things. I think maybe this helps me because I'm a slightly forgetful person with so many kids and so many things. And then it's also just such a good size that I just carry this with me wherever we're going. If we're doing morning time at the table, I have it with me, and that way I just look at it and be like, oh, that's right, we are doing a hymn today. Oh, that's right, we're going to read a seasonal book. Okay, or we're gonna read a science book. All right, I have that marked down, I know what page it is, and it just makes things go much easier, and I look and feel more prepared. And so I just carry this with me throughout the day. And then it's a good place for me to write notes and move things around. I tend to use pencil when I'm planning, but that's not too big of a deal. I don't really erase and move things. I just kind of make notes to myself. I am not a pretty planner. I'm a very functional planner. But I mean, I did pick out a pretty one. I thought this was really pretty, and we'll see if this daily planner idea really works this time for me, because I just felt like I didn't need all this stuff in a teacher planner. That is really what I do every Sunday during quiet time to get myself set up. It doesn't take too long, 45 minutes to an hour, and I usually have it all set up and ready, or at least I'm mostly ready for Monday. So I hope this was helpful, and please let me know below if you have any tips and tricks for planning or what you do to set yourself up for the homeschool week. I would love any advice or tips that could help me out. Really appreciate you stopping by, and please consider liking and subscribing, all of those things. And don't forget, I'm planning a records keeping one, so look for that. All right, anyway, that's all I have for today, and have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, take care. Bye.